Hiya, we are back for another edition with Capital by John Lanchester, I don't know. So this was a book that we read for book club. I was quite excited. It's basically about these residents in this really fancy road called Pepys Road. Basically all of them are very rich people, and they get postcards through from people saying, or from a person saying, we want what you have. Which I was like, ooh, interesting premise. So I was quite interested, and it also says, as the mystery of the postcard deepens, the world around Pepys Road is turned upside down by the financial crash, and all of its residents' lives change beyond recognition over the course of the next year. So it basically takes place over a year. It was made into a BBC TV series. So I was like, ooh, top 10 bestseller. I was like, okay. But I feel like, again, the curse struck again. I gave this book 2 out of 5 stars. It's a very thick book. It's about 570 pages. And it did not need to be that thick. John, it didn't need to be that thick. It really didn't. Basically, the book, it goes from all the different residents. So it goes like from this very rich banker guy to this old, more sort of like grandmother that's still living in the road. It's literally like lived there since her birth. To like this footballer who's like being put up there by his big football club. So it's like it keeps going from people to people, and most of them live in the road or have some sort of relation to somebody that lives in the road. Which was interesting, but it also meant that I did not get emotionally connected to any of them, like, because I would only know them for like a snapshot, and sometimes they would then not be talked about again for like many chapters, so that you almost forgot that they were there. I just felt that I had no emotional connection to them. I didn't care about them. Like some of them had some quite horrible things happen to them, but because all I knew about them was maybe spread over 2 or 3 rather short chapters, I didn't care. And then most of them were just a bunch of rich people, and I was like, don't care. Like, I don't care about the lives of these like random rich people, and like I just didn't care. I just found I didn't care, and I think that was my big problem with this book. I didn't care, and John made me read 570 pages about people I didn't care about, and the premise of the book, that we want what you have, was actually not the main bit of the book. Like when we were talking about it in our book club, we were saying how it was more about people watching, which is true, but it was people watching about people I didn't really care that people watch. Like, people watch interesting people. These people were not really interesting to me, like a bunch of rich people. I was like, and even the people that were sort of interesting, you didn't know enough about them to really care about them, to want to people watch them. Like, it's like, I didn't care. That was my biggest problem with this book. I didn't care. And got so far that because the we want what you have wasn't really talked about much in the book at all. It was just interspersed here and there. And then it didn't unravel until like the final 50 pages of the book. And I was like, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? John, when are we gonna do this? When are we gonna do this? I got to a point where I was like, I literally don't care anymore. I'm gonna finish the book, because I finish books, but I don't care anymore. I don't even care how it turns out anymore. And that's bad. Like, you don't want somebody to read your book and be like, I'm gonna finish it, but I don't really care what happens one way or another. Like, no. And the book could have definitely been much shorter. Definitely. And it talks about a financial crash, but that was like so on the sidelines and so hardly mentioned that I feel it's weird that it's on the back of this book, because like yes, it was mentioned here and there, but there wasn't it didn't feel like it actually really happened until the very end of the book. So to me, that almost felt like false advertising. Like it didn't affect the residents that much. That's not why things happen to the residents, which is what the back kind of made it sound like. And yeah, the book wasn't what I expected it to be. It was too big. I didn't care about any of the people in it. There was a lot of weird subplots, but I felt like, do they really need to be in there? Why are they in there? Yeah. I didn't care. And that's my big, big problem with this book. I did not care at all. So, it's a top 10 bestseller. It was made into a TV series. I actually tried to find a TV series because I wanted to watch it to see if maybe it translated better. Because they would have had to cut quite a bit, I assume. Couldn't find it though. It must have gone off the BBC. But yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend it. I think there are much, much better books to read. And I feel like it once again proves me right that there's a lot, well, in my personal opinion, that there are a lot of books that become bestsellers that don't really deserve to be bestsellers. Like, I don't understand why people read this book, why they suffered through 570 pages and then decided to say, that was a great book. Not for me. Sorry, John. It's not badly written or anything. It's quite a quick read, so it's not like it's going to be hard to read. So you can get through the 570 pages pretty quickly. But yeah, I didn't care about any of the characters, any of the plot that was happening. I didn't really care. And that was the problem. Sorry, John.